Hello, welcome to Spanish Lessons with Dr. Alan Davison. The videos in this series are designed to be used with the Blurzo el Burro graded Spanish reader. The reader is available at Amazon.com or through my website at blurzo.com. Have fun. Today we will look at stem changing verbs in the preterite tense. Uh, Most stem changing verbs in the preterite tense are actually regular, where they might have been are irregular in the present with the stem change. In the preterite, they don't even have the stem change. They're just regular verbs. For example, pensar, which of course goes from E to IE to think in the present. Pienso, piensas, piensa. In the preterite is a regular AR verb, so you end up with the root plus those AR endings we saw in the last lesson. Pensé, pensaste, pensó, pensamos, pensasteis, pensaron. Okay, and this will be the case for all stem changing verbs that are AR. That is, they are regular verbs with no stem change in the preterite tense. Likewise for ER stem changing verbs. Okay, for example, entender, which is a stem changing E to IE verb. That is to understand, of course, is what it means. A stem changing E to IE verb in the present tense, but in the preterite it's regular. It's an ER verb, so we use those ER endings we saw in the last lesson, and we end up with entendí, entendiste, entendió, entendimos, entendisteis. Remember that the vosotros form is always the to form plus is in the preterite. Entendieron. And of course this is the completed past, the preterite. Entendí, I understood. Entendiste, you understood. Entendió, she understood. Entendimos, we understood. Entendisteis, y'all understood. Entendieron, they understood. Okay, so we have AR and ER stem changing verbs become regular verbs in the preterite tense. But stem changing IR verbs, let's take for example pedir, which is stem changing E to I. This is of course to ask for. Have a change in the third person singular and plural forms. The other forms are regular. This is IR, so we end up with pedí, pediste, pedimos, pedisteis. Okay, those four forms are regular. But in the third person singular and plural, we do have a stem change. The E goes to I. Pidió, pidieron. Okay, we have that stem change to I in the third person singular and plural forms. Let's try another one. Let's try um, stem changing the verb sentir. Stem changing IR, this goes from E to IE. This is of course to feel. Regular in four forms. Sentí, I felt. Sentiste, you felt. Sentimos, we felt. Sentisteis, y'all felt. But the E goes to I, simply I. Whether it's E to I or E to IE, both of those just go to I in the third person forms. We end up with sintió, sintieron. Okay? Stem changing ER, stem changing IR verbs to go from E to I, E to IE, and we also have O to UE. Let's try dormir. That's O to UE, to sleep. What we get here? Four regular forms. Dormí, dormiste, dormimos, dormisteis. But the O goes to U. Durmió. That's a D there. Durmieron. Okay? So those are the irregularities that we have with stem changing verbs in the preterite. Only stem changing IR verbs have an irregularity, and it's only in the third person form. Okay, third person singular and third person plural. Otherwise, stem changing verbs are regular in the preterite tense.